Poppin', y'all. This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, the title of this video is going to be on an experience I experienced for myself, right? But this time, I had the ability to be wise enough and with the help of the universe to save myself from a situation that could have got out of control because I had elevated my energy. You know what I'm saying? So again, understanding and being mindful that I'm pretty sure almost 99.5% of us have grew up in very toxic situations. You know what I'm saying? We damn near ate the toxic situations like M&Ms. We didn't know the difference between the two. We thought that's how life was, right? So as you elevate into a new reality and you understand with peace comes the ability to see the truth and the facts, and there's no means of, constantly replaying toxic scenarios over and over again. So, right, when you have grown past a certain cycle that someone is still stuck at, it's almost as if they'll live double lives, right? But when you try to help them see the truth and who they really are, because they're not yet moved out of that cycle, they're gonna get aggressive and violent with you as if you saying something wrong because they're not ready to evolve into a new version of themselves. It's a cycle that they have to figure out for themselves. So because of me being in a relationship with someone like that, the change and the growth needed to be a better version of who they were, it couldn't be accomplished with me there because they were living double lives. They were still so deeply attracted to that street shit, you know what I'm saying? But also trying to hold on to me at the same time, right? But because I see life from an evolved version of being able to be in that street shit, and I now it's time to try to, you know what I'm saying, be a conservative mom, like do shit the right way. They weren't yet ready to grow, right? So anytime I told them the truth, they got violent with me as if I was doing something wrong, like I deserved to get dismantled because you're not ready to accept the truth yet, right? And what happens is the first time they beat your ass, it ain't gonna stop because they're still stuck in a cycle. In their mind, you trying to take them out of the character that they built themselves up to be is wrong. Don't do that. Settle for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them where they need to improve and where they grow. And if you be depressed and upset in the process, oh well. You know what I'm saying? Let them continue to act like that. You know what I'm saying? And everything will be fine. But the moment that you evolve out of that phase of life and you're trying to help somebody grow, it does not work like that. You know what I'm saying? You will be depressed for a long time if you continue to stay in that, because that person is still stuck in a cycle that they don't want to grow out of, because whatever they get in that one side of their life is so fulfilling to them that they ain't ready to leave. So it's going to damper on you. They're going to know that being with you is something good, but because they're so attracted to their old version of who they they're going to leave you and stay doing that street shit, right? But it's beneficial for you. Listen, I had the ability to love myself enough to let go. I never let go before, but this time I had to, because I can clearly see that elevation in who I was something that made them mad, because it brung up emotions in them that they hadn't yet processed. So me having a life, having friends, going out without them caused abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? Me telling them the truth and who they are, they wasn't ready to face that part of themselves yet. Even though they know you was telling the truth, they just didn't want to hear it. So I'm going to get mad at you so you can stop talking like that and just settle for who I am. You know what I'm saying? And in the end, if you keep getting hurt, you keep getting frustrated, you keep having to deal with that, who cares? I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to act like I didn't do anything wrong because I have yet to take accountability for myself. You know what I'm saying? And me understanding that my life has created a version of me that some people have grown past. You know what I'm saying? So you can love them until the wheels fall off. But I promise you, if you don't get out, love gonna get you killed. You know what I'm saying? So again, understanding and being mindful that sticking around far longer than you need to causes problems when a person has evolved and you haven't grown yet. But actually, to get more detailed into that, now they'll start to trigger you. They'll start to stay attached to you because they feel like in their mind that you left them to go be with somebody else or even to be by yourself, but you left them at the version of who they are, and they wasn't ready to accept that yet, and so they'll attack your life. You know what I'm saying? They'll trigger your life. They'll try to hold you back because they feel like they were the best version of who they were in the relationship and that you shouldn't have left, even though you've grown past it and you were willing to grow with them. They just weren't willing to face the music. So they kept lying to you. They kept manipulating you, and they wanted you to take it. And when you grew out of that energy and you were actually like, hey, look, just tell the truth, be this, be that, they couldn't hear that coming from you because they're still stuck in a cycle. But they wanted you to stay there and stay attached to that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was about them. It wasn't about you. So when you finally leave, they attach their energy to you because they feel as if they had something good in their life that they wasn't ready to let go of, but they're still not ready to take accountability. So they'll hold you back in your life energetically and not let you move on because they're addicted to what you gave them without changing. You know what I'm saying? And listen, as crazy as it sounds, that be the reality of it for real. You know what I'm saying? People can't process or think they do anything wrong or take accountability. They'll keep you trapped in your life and not want to see you move on and be happy because they felt like they were the best version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Even if you were willing to grow with them. You know what I'm saying? To a lot of people, when they love hard. They willing to stick around, you feel me, and help them grow. But when you see patterns of behavior too many times and you keep telling them, hey, look, and you keep giving them chances, they don't see that. Every fifth, sixth time, I'm going to change. I'm going to fix it. And they end up doing the same thing over. They're not trying to fix it. They're trying to stay attached to you. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to be okay with that behavior. Even if it stresses you out, they don't care. Because they care about themselves only. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to change or grow. Because growth comes with change. You know what I'm saying? So because spiritual warfare is so high right now, a lot of those people are still deeply attached to you. They don't want to let you go. You know what I'm saying? They're having a hard time trying to fathom the one thing that they was with and actually cared about is gone, and they leveling up, but without them. You could have went. I was willing to ride it out. You feel me? But you just wasn't willing to change. How is that my fault? It's not. You know what I'm saying? So now you trying to hold me back because you upset with me? That's crazy and insane. I never knew life really worked like that, but that was my first time actually breaking up with somebody. But I was 10 toes down, I promise you. I was ready to get married and a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? But your behavior in that short period of time was not changing. I held you down in prison. I answered every call, kept money on the phone, sent you boxes. Nigga, you was flying that bitch because of me. You feel me? And all I asked is for simple behavior to change. And you couldn't give me that. And you kept lying to me about it. And then you wanted me to stay there and accept that. You cannot allow that person to grow with you, with them. Because they are not going to see that. Because they're going to feel like you're going to allow them to keep being that same version of themselves the longer you stay with them. If you get in a serious commitment, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to change. They're going to stay the same. It is not until you separate yourself from them and pull away that they're able to learn that lesson through other people, not you. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to hate it, but it's going to be the reality. You know what I'm saying? That they need for them to be able to realize all I ask is for you to just give me what I was giving you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That, and you couldn't give that to me for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't hate you. I wish you well, but I know that that's not the case. And because of that, you were trying everything in your power to hold me back from seeing me with somebody else, seeing me with a better life without you. You don't want that for me because you so upset that you couldn't change. And in your mind still, you think that you didn't do nothing wrong. That is absolutely delusional to me. You know what I'm saying? That you would really think that. I wouldn't have left you if you would have tried to change. But you wasn't. Every time I'm emotionally pouring my heart out, you didn't hear shit I was saying. It was just, let me fuck you. You feel me? You get over it and we gonna do this shit again tomorrow. You feel me? That is not how that works when a person elevates and grows. You know what I'm saying? I stuck around for a long time. I took the treatment. I allowed you to keep fucking up. But how many times do I gotta accept that? You know what I'm saying? When I'm trying to move on in life and you still stuck in a cycle, you think outside is more better than your home life. But when them niggas outside treat you fucked up, then you gonna wish you was at home. And now you want to come crawling back. Nigga, after that, it's kind of like, what the fuck we supposed to be doing? You know what I'm saying? Home wasn't where the heart was at. Your heart was in the streets. So at the end of the day, listen, realizing and understanding your evolvement and your growth is something they wasn't ready for, because they thought by projecting all that negative energy towards you because they were upset that they needed to change, nothing was truly wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You may have had a little flaws. Nobody's perfect, but you were good to them. They were wrong. They couldn't accept that. You left, you moving on, and they mad. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with you. It is all something internal. You know what I'm saying? But they will use that energy and project it onto you to make you feel like you did something wrong. And the moment that you sink into mental prison is all the fuel they need to go move on with another bitch and tell that bitch how you were the reason why that person left. When in actuality, it was them and the reason of who they were that left. But again, you can convince somebody that don't know who you are that the reason why that person left is because it was them and not you. You know what I'm saying? Because they get a whole group of people to team up on you by basically explaining the scenario from their point of view. You never speak in none of what they say. You feel me? They don't call you. Nobody reach out. They just believe in this person from this version of what they said. You know what I'm saying? But you are leveling up in your life and they hopping from bitch to bitch to bitch to bitch to bitch. That should explain a lot to you. You feel me? Let it be clear in understanding that nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But when you grow in who you are, you know what I'm saying? You have to realize that people who can't fathom that growth will start to target you and become aggressive and violent and triggered by you growing and them still stuck. It's almost as if you feeling depressed is okay to them, as long as you keep giving them what they want. Listen, took my car keys, took my car, but luckily I knew where they was at. I called somebody to pick me up and pulled up. Nigga, you feel me? At the end of the day, listen, that's that all that street shit. That street shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So again, know what's best for you. You feel me? They're probably learning their lesson now. I wish I could have took them with me. I wish we could have elevated together. Like, I really cared about you for real. But you weren't ready to grow yet. You know what I'm saying? You were ready to grow on the back of me keeping my mouth shut. You were ready to grow on me being depressed every day. You were ready to grow on me shutting the fuck up, sitting back and playing a position. Listen, if you are someone, I don't care who you are, that does that, that means someone gets off on dumbing you down to feel good about who they are when they're not even a good person themselves. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that happens when women start to grow. You feel me? They feel like it's an attack on who they are. They feel like it's being disrespectful. They feel like you raising your voice. They feel like you not being a woman because you're basically telling them, hey, look, can you grow just a little bit? You feel me? I'm willing to ride with you, baby steps. But they don't even want to take the baby steps. You know what I'm saying? They just want to keep staying in that same cycle. Let them go. I promise. If you know what's good for you, let it go. Especially right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the behavior that person does to you can get on the elevation where it kills you. You know what I'm saying? I seen a woman one time. Hey, I never got physically abused, but I seen a woman one time, nigga, whole right eye closed. And they be stuck in this cycle of thinking that that's love. You know what I'm saying? Now is really dangerous to where you might not talk to them like that, but they can feel the growth. They can feel you pulling away energetically, you know what I'm saying, and ready to leave out of the relationship. And for whatever reason, they can't see their own behavior, that they be willing to kill you about you energetically moving on. You know what I'm saying? If it take beating your ass every day until you die, that's okay with them. You know what I'm saying? As long as you stay and you don't go nowhere. Hey, I'm telling you right now, get out, go somewhere, do something, let it go. You know what I'm saying? It's going to hurt someone who can't look at themselves. They are victim mentality people who point everything at everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And what happens, the sad story about that is when you leave that person, they going to have the whole world gang up against you. You gonna feel by yourself, but it was so many people connected to them with that level of thinking that they're trying to will you back in. They want you to continue to stay stuck. You feel me? It helps them if you come crawling back on your hands and knees, talking about how you need them, and then it be cool for a minute in your mind, and then they turn around and be that same person who never changed. You know what I'm saying? And you all the time hurting yourself, and then it gets worse because they get mad when you like see somebody else that is on the same energy as you, and you may think they cute or something, or you may want to hang out with them. Oh, you hanging out with somebody now? Get all aggressive and feel some type of way about it, because deep down inside they know that your energy is grown and theirs is not, and you are finding other people more attractive than them, and they don't want to let you go because you're the only one that put up with their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And they can't process that or understand it. You know what I'm saying? And listen, this is just a lesson for everybody. For anybody who have been in certain situations where a person put your character down. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel less than. It's a big difference in putting character down because they feel fucked up in who they are, and doing it because they don't want to see the truth. You know what I'm saying? Two different realities, two different lifestyles. Get out. You don't got to take that treatment. You don't got to be with somebody that treats you like that because they're not ready to grow. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them finesse and manipulate you to try to get in. Listen, first time, shame on you. Second time, you feel me, shame on me. After 5, 6, 7 times, it's kind of like you like that. You okay with that. You feel me? And a person that elevate and grow, I just can't keep myself being around. Now, I love you, I care about you, but I can't, because that's a cycle you choose to stay stuck in. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to let it go, and that's why your life is going the way it's going, and you mad at me because I took myself out of the cycle. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm better, I just got tired. You know what I'm saying? I actually love me now. I chose myself, you feel me, over that bullshit. And hey, I promise you, it'd be the hardest thing for people to accept that. And it's not, like I said, it's not until they grow inside themselves, which is usually taught to them through somebody else that they jump to, that's now doing to them what they've done to you. And that's when they start to wake up and it make them mad. But it's, how else are you supposed to understand how that behavior wasn't cool? Because you wasn't listening to someone who was being nice. You wasn't listening to someone that actually cared and loved you and wanted to grow with you together. You couldn't hear what they were saying. So you needed someone to treat you the way you treat them for you to wake up and see that. Hey, that's sad, because sometimes it don't end well. I never wanted to see you hurt. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to see you down. I never wanted to see you unhappy. I stuck around for as long as I could. You know what I'm saying? But you were making me unhappy, and you couldn't see that. You know what I'm saying? So again, listen, for all the people out there, that usually is the energy that's keeping you stuck in that cycle. And the reason why you're elevating, but you don't understand why you still feel trapped, is because you have to let that energy go. And anybody associated and tied to it. Otherwise, you're going to stay in a low vibrational mindset. And what happens is, you feel me, start smoking more weed, start drinking more bottles, you feel me, anything to get out of that mind space. Because listen, at some point, everybody gonna go back home. Whatever you got at home, nigga, if it ain't a home, listen, it ain't gonna feel like a home, I promise you. That shit was crazy, how I felt better at work than I did at home. You know what I'm saying? I felt better being at work than at home. And I'm paying rent somewhere where I'm unhappy at. You feel me? I hated going there because I was like, every day I got off, I was like, oh, this shit again. God damn. You know what I'm saying? It's depressing every day, and you start to be unhappy at work, and then it starts to affect your life because people start to see that energy. You always complaining, you're always down. Why are you like that? Because that person is affecting your energy, and for whatever reason, you just too afraid to let go. I think now is the time that we stop wanting to be loved by anybody that treat us like shit, and let that motherfucker go. And if you can't find nobody, let somebody come to you. Until then, make yourself happy. You feel me? Enjoy your own company. Sit with yourself. Figure out why none of your relationships keep working and why you hop into a different bitch every other week. That shit is not impressive. It shows a lot about somebody and their character. You feel me? So again, that's just my own personal experience on where I'm at now in my life and where I was. You feel me? I'll even give those people chances. You know what I'm saying? But you got to really put the work in, because the moment you talk to me and I see that you on some faking, like, people know how to fake good these days. We like some good ass actors. You know what I'm saying? And then that you find out they the same person. That shit almost like, damn, I gave your ass a chance and you still the same person. But again, they'll take from you to make you think that you doing something and you not. You know what I'm saying? You only doing something for them. It's not benefiting you. You know, so again, listen, this is just coming from someone who's learned from their experience. I'm glad I did, because if not, like I said, you can get addicted to domestic abuse. You feel me? And you could think that you deserve to be treated like that, and that's love, especially if you've been brought up in a toxic environment. I thought that's what love was. So I'm glad I understood myself at a time that it was useful, because if not, I probably would be dead right now. You know what I'm saying? At the hands of someone else. And what happens is, when you don't solve that, you reincarnate. And usually any kids that you have alive, they will be able to be in that same situation. You know what I'm saying? Later on down the line. And especially if I got a daughter, so she would have ended up with somebody that probably would have treated her the same way. And the cycle continues over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.